It's 2022, new year, new me. I'm gonna drop 20 pounds. I'm gonna declutter, organize my house perfectly, and guess what? I'm gonna make over my finances while I'm at it. If you're new here, I'm Rian, a Christ-following wife and a homeschool mom to 3 boys. Here we talk all things homeschool, and we will learn together how to use our roles as wife, mom, teacher, and homemaker in order to glorify God. Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna do any of that, but that's how this time of year always feels to me, right? Everyone's just like, oh, it's a new year. What are we gonna do? And I just get really easily overwhelmed because one, I just hate New Year's resolutions. I shared this last year in my goals video. And I'm not a word of the year person. I don't know. I kind of get depressed at the end of the year. It's like Christmas is over and it's just like, now it's the gross, nasty winter and like, come on spring. That's all I'm thinking is let's get to spring. I realize that's like kind of a negative Nancy take on things, and I'm trying to get better about that. So this year I do have some goals, but how I set my goals is I look back on the past year and I think, okay, what went right? What went wrong? That was in my control anyway. And what can I do to make that better? But here's how I did on my 2021 goals and kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish in 2022 and how I'm going to get there. So last year I said in my home and in our homeschool, I wanted to simplify. I did not have enough margin in my schedule. I did not have enough time for anything because I'm a to-do list person and I just kept adding to the list and adding to the list and adding to the list. And to-do lists are great and they're fine, but I was a slave to that list and I said, no more, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So did I accomplish that? Yes and no. I did simplify things, but I think that was a provision of the Lord because I simplified things just to have a bunch of unexpected stuff come upon us. These things were not all bad. There were some major blessings. I have one of those blessings sleeping in the other room. I think the Lord was just prepping me for things to come and saying, you know, weed out some stuff because here we go. It's going to be a year. You all know I got COVID really bad in July. My husband had it as well, right when we were getting ready to move. We had a baby that was not exactly planned. So it was a fun year, but I think God prepared us for that year by having us simplify. So yes, we simplified, but no, it did not make room for the stuff that I had thought it was going to make room for. Then for my channel, I said that I wanted to start uploading on set days to just kind of make it more of a routine thing for you guys to know when to expect me and for me to be able to better plan my filming and everything. I did really, really well at that for a long time. And then July hit and I took a huge long break and then got back on track. And then October hit when I had the baby and had to take another big fat break. And now I'm going down to 1 video a week until I think I can handle more, which by the way, right now looks like maybe February. We're hoping. I said I wanted to do more book reviews, stick to those and stick to my day in the lives. Or I was just starting out in day in the lives actually back then. And I did stick to that again for a long time until life got a little crazy. And then those kind of went by the wayside. I don't remember the last time I did a day in the life. I want to do one now with a new baby. I think you guys would enjoy seeing that, although it is one hot mess express. I'm not gonna lie, but it's fun. It's fun. My book reviews, I did really well. I think I posted one in September, maybe October, but I know I didn't know November or December, but I plan to share soon, just kind of maybe just go live and just be like, here's the good stuff that I've read lately and here's a few good books my kids have read. And not go over every single book, but just kind of hit the highlights of the last few months. And lastly, I said I wanted to focus in on my content and not just make videos for the sake of making videos and not just join in every collab that I get invited to. And I think I did a really good job at this. This is one thing that I can say, you got an A+, Ryan, you did it. And I also said I wanted to get a little more intentional on Instagram. I give myself a C+ on that. I have posted a lot more like stories and stuff, but as far as actual posts, I'm not doing as much as I wanted to. I wanted that to be kind of my dumping ground for some of my more like intense thoughts that I have that I want to share with you guys, but I don't feel like I can make a whole video about. So I'm kind of hoping to stick to that this year. We'll see if it happens or not. Now this year I have some similar goals, but they are slightly different. And I also want to share with you the actual tangible, actionable steps that I'm going to take to try to make these things happen. So here are the 3 things that I want to see this year. The Lord has really been impressing on me that I need to be a more joyful and pleasant mom and wife. It's just been through a series of things. I've been talking to a friend about this off and on and listening to a podcast that has talked about it. And we just did a whole series, sermon series at church on joy. And I've just found that I'm not always the most joyful or pleasant person. I let circumstances just affect me too much. And I can just be very like, let's go, blah, 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 blah. Like very naggy and very just short with people when we're not on schedule or whatever. I don't like that about myself. And so I want to be able to say at the end of the year that, you know what, I am a more pleasant person to be around, especially behind closed doors. I mean, we can all fake it for a little while, right? But in my own home with those who I know and love best, my family and, you know, my spouse and my kids, I'm a pleasant person. I want to be able to say that. The second thing is I just want to be overall healthier. Yes, I could stand to lose like probably 15 to 20 pounds. I don't know. Recently had a baby mom bod going on. I don't really know where I should be. I know do need to lose weight, but mostly I just want to feel better and I want to be more comfortable in my own skin. So I have some set goals for that I will share with you. But I just want to be well. I want my body to be well. And the third thing is for my channel, I want both of these things. I want my channel to be a more pleasant place to be, a more joyful place to be for you all. And I want this to be something that I enjoy doing. So here are kind of my loose plans on how I hope to accomplish this. For being more joyful and more pleasant, I am going to continue to be adamant to stay in my word. I have been doing pretty well at this thanks to the reading plan put out by Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho. And you guys should definitely check that out. I'll put them in the link below if you are looking for a reading plan. You know, and I want to continue reading books that will help grow me spiritually. Obviously, the Bible every day, that's the one that's really going to get me. But you can also learn from people who have, you know, studied things harder than you have and have lived more life than you have. The actual tangible step I'm going to take is to read one book a month that is on growth, that is going to grow me or challenge me in some way. I also want to continue to stay focused on spiritual growth in my home. So this means just keeping up with that family worship. We kind of had a dip mid-year where we were not consistent with doing our family worship in the evening. And I could feel a difference in our home. I really could. And toward the end of the year, since the baby's been born, we've been doing a lot better at that again, and I can tell the difference. And for our family worship book, I will link it down below. It is one I highly recommend. It's going through the catechism questions, but it also gives an explanation of each one and takes you through the scriptures, kind of explaining where that question and answer came from. Another way I plan to be more joyful and more pleasant, I want to make sure that some of that margin time that I am hopefully getting, unless again, the Lord is helping me get that margin so he can fill it with other stuff, that's totally fine. But if I have that margin time, I want to be sure that I am working with my hands at something I enjoy. I love to crochet. I love to hand letter. I love to do puzzles. And I just very rarely have time for that. And so I want to make sure that when I do have those margin hours that I'm doing something with my hands. And I think that's good for, you know, everyone involved. I think God calls us to be productive. And the actionable step that I'm going to take for that is I'm going to make sure that I'm doing that 3 times a week. I just want to kind of keep track in my planner. Hey, I did this today. And the last way that I want to try to be more joyful is I want to continue to be in fellowship and have that accountability and have those relationships that I naturally do not seek. I am a homebody. I like attending to my home and that's it. But the Lord has shown me over the past couple of years the importance of community and fellowship. And this last year especially, he has put me in places where I have to do the thing. So I am in a community group at our church. I am leading kind of a mentorship group through our church. And I'm also helping with Bible study at our church. The Lord has put me in places where I have to do the things. And I learned the last 2 years that when I do the things, I actually enjoy them and I love them because it's part of God's plan. And so I just want to make sure that I stay plugged in there. And beyond that, I want to make sure that I am stepping out of my comfort zone. And my actionable step is quarterly. I want to reach out to someone individually, whether it's someone from my Bible study or my community group or whatever, and just say, hey, let's go get coffee. Let's go chat. And just to stay actually connected. because it's so easy to just shoot a text. And, you know, I'm so thankful for that. But just to go one-on-one with people and actually like fellowship with them, you know, is a very rich and great thing to do. And I miss that. I've kind of let that go by the wayside. And so I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone and be the one to initiate that at least once a quarter this year. Okay, so for my second goal of just getting healthier, I am just doing two things. One thing is I'm going to squeeze in exercise. It is hard. It is hard. I remember not that many years ago when I would exercise 45 minutes a day every day. And I'm talking like rigorous exercise, probably 6 days a week. 45 minutes, who has 45 minutes? Like, and so I kind of get that mentality of, well, if I can't do a full, hard, good workout, I'm just not going to do it. And that's silly. That's not being a good steward of my body. And so I just want to, my minimum, my tangible step is 10 minutes a day, do something, whether that's weightlifting, whether it's going on a quick run, whether that's doing burpees and sit-ups for 10 minutes, I don't know, but at least 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's only 50 minutes a week. That's a bare minimum. And I want to get to a lot more than that, but I've got to start somewhere. And the second thing I want to do is not a diet. I have very mixed feelings about diets and eliminating things, and I'm just kind of learning where I stand here. And one way I'm doing that is I am currently reading Broken Bread by Tilly Dillahay, and it is an excellent read. It talks all about using food appropriately, how food is, yes, fuel for your body, but it is so much more than that. We can often use it as a crutch, and that's, you know, developing those unhealthy habits of binging and eating to fulfill some emotional need or some spiritual need even. But we can also swing the other way, and I need to have this many calories, I need to eat this many macros and blah, 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 blah. When really food is, yes, fuel, but it is something to be enjoyed, something that God gave us as a gift, and we need to use it appropriately. So I'm going to try to finish up that book and apply some of those principles that she lays out there and kind of just see where I land as far as food. But I want to just be mindful in my eating and do it as unto the Lord, right? And then my third area that I wanted to grow in with my channel to make it more joyful and healthier is I want to make more of what you want. What do you guys want to see? And so my actionable step is I will be putting out polls more often on kind of what you guys want to see, what you want to hear from me, what you want to talk about. And next, I want to continue doing what I love. So hopefully these two things go hand in hand, what you want me to do and what I want to do. Because I want to keep up with my books, with my biblical womanhood stuff. I want to keep up with my homeschool stuff and with my day in the lives. Day in the lives I started last year. And I remember saying in my video last year that these aren't really my thing, but you guys wanted to see them, so I'm going to try. But I actually like them now. So I kind of want to do more of those. Those are more just good memories for me to look back on later. But I think it also helps you guys kind of see behind the scenes what happens in our real life. And then lastly, to make my channel healthier, I just want to make the quality better here. I want to do things with excellence. And so I will be getting a camera here in the next several months, next 3 to 6 months probably. I'll be getting a new camera instead of just filming on my phone. So hopefully that will improve quality for you. I want to show more of my real self. Looking back on past videos, sometimes I'm just like, man, like I can be very dry and very boring. And maybe you're watching this right now going, yeah, you're very dry and very boring. I'm sorry. But I want to be real in who I am. But I want to be someone you want to watch. And I want to be able to be silly and have fun on here and, you know, chat with you guys in the comments and over on Instagram and wherever else. And I also want to, you know, improve my intros, my outros, my graphics, all of that kind of stuff. So I plan on making one definite improvement a quarter, like something tangible. So getting the camera will be a big thing and, you know, what I can do with that, making a new intro and stuff like that. So there has to be something once a quarter that I do, and I'm going to put it on the calendar so that I know, hey, right now, go do something for your channel and just see if it makes it, you know, better for you all and for me. So I know that's a lot. It's a lot of steps, but they're all very small steps, but they're very tangible things that I can put on my calendar and say, by this date, you need to do this. By this date, you need to do this. I have several friends who are major goal setters. And so I'm trying to take some of their tips this year and we'll see what happens. You know, but ultimately, we make our plans, but God sets our paths, right? You know, everything I do, I want to do for his glory. And if any of this at any time is not for him, I don't want to do it. I don't know what tomorrow brings. Just like last year, I didn't know what any of that was going to be. but God was so faithful and so good through it all. And I can do nothing but trust Him with this year as well. Please comment down below if you have any New Year's goals or resolutions that you would like to share with me. I have a couple videos coming up. One is all about comfort. It's a biblical womanhood video. Another one is all about my preschool philosophy and how it's a little different than a lot of people may think. So be sure to stick around. I thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.